Corley Moore, talking to you for a few short minutes while we're waiting for the scrap to begin. The scrap will be starting here in just a few minutes, and I'm going to talk to you while everybody's logging in. I'm going to talk to you about becoming a vigilante. If you are not a vigilante, why not? It is a collection of the coolest cats from across the world, firefighters from around the world getting together in a group and supporting each other. It's an amazing group to be a part of. Every day people are posting their questions, their problems, their advice. It is powerful to belong to. One of the best collections of people, and you can be a part of it. We got stuff like the swag. The swag is awesome. Don't get me wrong. The swag is awesome. That's not what it's about, but you got vigilante only swag, like the custom bookmarks made by Taylor's Tins for the vigilantes. You got stuff like the blacked out vigilante hats and the vigilante shirts, all available in the exclusive vigilante only shop, which all of that stuff is sold, not, I don't want to say at no markup, but like at the lowest possible price you can basically sell it for. And so, and it's not even about the swag, although that's just the awesome part of it. We do forums. We're on forum number 13 or 14. It's coming up. And it is some of the best, most gifted subject matter experts coming in, and they have conversations. It's like a scrap. Think of the scrap, but you're in it also in the call, able to ask and have conversations and talk. It's an amazing time. We do. I've got the 4th episode of the Fire Away coming up this month. And in a Fire Away, I go live and just field questions. People post questions, field questions, and we answer and discuss those questions from firefighters across the world. It's a good time. The Fire Aways, the forums. It's an amazing time. Not to mention, every time there's a conference and vigilantes get together, we have a vigilante meetup. We're in the process of forming traditions that are gonna make, and how those happen and what it means when you get like your vigilante coin, which is also another thing that's pretty freaking cool, is the vigilante coin, the blackout coin. And they're numbered, they're exclusive, and we're figuring out how that's gonna work out when we get together in person. We're supposed to recite the creed. We do this for others. Push, train, learn, master ourselves. Never easy. Never quit. Man, if you're not a member of the Vigilantes, I'm just asking you, why not? I wanted to talk to you for a few minutes while the scrap is about to start. You can go to firehousevigilance.com. $5 a month. You're a member of the Vigilantes. You can also sign up for a year if you prefer that over the subscription. Firehousevigilance.com. Become a member today, man. You will not regret it. The scrap will be starting soon. Thanks for listening to me. Corley, Firehouse Vigilance. I am joined today by Cody Trestrail. It is going to be the Firemanship Special, Part 2. It is all about it. Firemanship Conference 2024, July 15th through the 19th, Aurora, Illinois. Registration opens in 8 days, 19 hours, 54 minutes, and 3 seconds.
Come on.
There we go. So, tons of questions coming in. This is what I've heard. How are they ever going to pull this off? There's no way this can happen. Have you seen this lineup? And this is way too ambitious, even for Cody. So we're doing the Firemanship Special just to hype A, all the classes, B, get all of your questions, C, announce everything we can about registration. So that's all I'm really going to say. The rest I'm going to hand over to one of the best mustaches on the planet. And Cody, take it away.
All right. Thanks, brother. Thanks again for having us and your continued support with this platform and what you're doing, man. It's awesome to watch what you're doing for our fire service, and just a platform that you're reaching with and bringing in and intermixing brothers and sisters from all over the country, and the ability to ask questions and exchange with your people doing your scraps and what a man's doing and blast out. It's awesome, man. Our fire service is in such a good position right now. as far as, the right people, the right mindsets moving it forward. It's pretty awesome to see. So thanks for having me, brother.
Well, thank
And
you for that kind words. Absolutely.
yeah. So awesome. But yeah, let's get to it. It's Saturday afternoon, so I don't want to take up everybody's, too much of their weekend and their time. But we're just excited, man. Like you said, we were 8 days out from registration. We got a ton of questions coming in. Is it ambitious? Hell yes. We're looking forward to it. And just super excited. So I just want to kind of go over some things that I have, some base stuff, and really then leave it open to the questions, maybe from the audience out there, if we can answer any. So I first just want to, registration's coming up. So there is a ticker. Go to our website. The best way to kind of stay updated with information is off the website, which is firemanshipconference.com, and through the socials, which is the Firemanship Instagram page and Facebook page. And we're trying to push out stuff. We're not fully done releasing all the classes even yet. There's still a couple classes left to push out there, which is just unreal.
Wow.
Because the lineup is just already off the charts. There is literally something for everybody, and there's just no excuses not to get out and get some incredible training. We're super excited about it. But yeah, so the best way to kind of stay up to date is definitely through the website, and on the social media pages. And so just really quickly want to thank Ashley Bryant and Jeff Bryant, who's, my right hand man. This wouldn't be possible without the two of them. What they're putting out media wise and all that is just absolutely incredible. The days are gone of the old school firemanship stuff when I would just write a text on a picture and put that out. They've upped the game significantly, but that is all them. I love them. They're what they're doing, the amount of work and time behind the scenes has been incredible. So thank you, Jeff and Ashley. It's awesome to partner with you guys with this, but it couldn't be done, and it looks the way it does, and all the incredible shout outs and blast outs of classes and all that's been Ashley and Jeff. So
Awesome.
Thank them. Yeah, it's incredible. But
I'll read you what some people are saying right here. It's it said it's Liggins here, ready for another great episode. He's watching on YouTube.
My man.
Josh Everett says, I've sure met some of the best humans on the planet. Same with first time I've logged in live. Looking forward to it, from Gary Penstone. Rob Fisher said, just landed in Vegas. Going to be home for my 4-day. DJ Breacher on opening day is watching from his deer stand. So that's some.
I love it.
We got an eye on each.
Yeah, the deer can wait.
Awesome. No, absolutely. So get your questions.
But I want to know if something comes in. If he's going to draw while we're live, we want to know.
Yes, you got to keep us posted.
Yeah.
Matt Doney said, "Come on!" with 3 exclamation points. So that just some of the hype coming in. But okay, I didn't want to interrupt you, but I wanted to get it in there. Everybody, I want to tell the audience, if you have questions about firemanship, if you have a question that you think other people would need to hear the answer for when they watch the recording, ask the question. Ask the question so I can ask Cody while we have him here. This is what this is all about, getting information out about this conference. Okay, Cody, go ahead.
Yeah. So I'll just jump right in. So registration, we are 8 days away. We are opening up at 0900. That is Pacific time. So get your clocks right based on where you're at in the country. But that is Pacific time and West Coast time at 9 o'clock. I'll be honest, I'm getting a lot of questions about, are things going to fill up right away? Do I have time? What if I can't get registered? My department's going to register me. Our department wants to register 5 of us at the same time. So let me address some of that, some of those things. I'll be honest, I have no idea exactly what's going to happen registration morning. I would say, based off of our past, in Portland, the last couple of years especially, it sold out within minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. I think all of our hot classes were full and the lecture series were full the last couple of years running it. So I would say this, our registration numbers cap that we are setting for the lecture series is 1,500. So significantly more than what we were able to do in Portland. And again, part of this goal and the vision for this, and I really felt like God was saying this is the time to get this message out to the masses, is I didn't want um, to limit in any way, if we can help it, those that want to be there. So we are not putting a capacity as far as keeping it small, intimate, type stuff with a couple hundred. We will 1,500 is a large number. I truly believe in my heart that we are going to fill it to capacity. That gives us a little room. That's the capacity of the Paramount Theater, which is just an incredibly gorgeous, amazing venue there in Aurora. And so my hope is that we're going to continue with that same family vibe, feel, and intimacy in that space with 1,500 brothers and sisters from around the country. And even though that number is increased, I really think that just the environment around created by all of us in attendance will hopefully keep that same feel. So just to answer one of the big questions is we are capped at 1,500 for the lecture series. I have no idea what that translates to for everybody trying to register. Like I said, we would cap the lecture series in Portland at 550, and it was sold out in minutes.
Right.
And then we added the hot classes on top of that, and the hot classes would sell out within 10 minutes, I think, the last couple of years. And we were getting a total of around 1,000 firefighters in attendance between the lecture and the hot days in Portland. So our numbers, again, for the lecture series are going to be capped at 1,500. I'm not sure what the total number is, to be honest with you, for the hot classes. I can tell you we're around 20 some different hot classes and about 5 or so different workshops. So all of those numbers are going to be limited to what that class max is normally. We are not like some other conferences and places. This isn't a cash cow type thing trying to herd cattle through with those classes. We have asked every class cadre and instructor and workshop what numbers do they want to put forth the best training possible, and those are the numbers we're going. We're not trying to, we won't be sitting here and haven't said, hey, can you fit 100 in, can you fit 60 in, can you fit 40? If their numbers are 12 or 24 or 16, that's what our numbers are in order to bring forth the best training possible. So I would tell you that obviously those numbers don't translate to there. I'll just tell you, there are not 1,500 hot class spots.
Right.
So everybody that is there for the lecture series is not going to get in for the hot classes if they choose to do that. So there is going to be a time constraint of, people are like, well, do you really think I need to be there to register, Monday morning? And it's like, yeah, get on it, or there's a good chance you're going to miss out, do whatever it takes to get somebody to register for you or not. There are going to be some of the workshops, though, that will have larger capacity numbers that we still are working on what that looks like. So even though you may not be able to get into a specific hands-on class, some of our workshops are going to have a larger capacity. So hopefully there is an option for those that want to carry over from the lecture to that. And again, this is all assuming that, we can fill that. But like I said, I can't tell you what's going to happen. The response seems to me, and it feels like it's incredible. What that translates to Monday morning, though, we're all waiting to find out. So
yeah, we're going to find out in a few short days.
Yeah.
So real quick for me coming at you is they're going to be registering for individual hot tracks when they register, correct?
Yep. So the way it's going to be set up is there'll be a link. So also there'll be a link for the lecture series, which is a 3-day lecture ticket. And so let me go through the pricing a little bit and what that's going to kind of roughly look like for them so they kind of know what to expect. So it's a 3-day lecture ticket. You can't just buy one days. It's a full 3-day lecture ticket, and that's on you if you can only make one of the days or 2 of the days. It is only being sold as a 3-day lecture ticket. There's the hot days can be sold as individual hot days if you can attend one or both of them on the 2 hot days. And the same with the workshops is that can be a 1-day workshop and a hot class the next day, or 2 workshops, or you could just take one on Thursday and skip out of town on Friday.
Right.
But those are broken down individually. There are a couple of workshops and a couple of the hot class programs that are 2-day programs. So pay attention to that too as you're looking at the classes and on the website. Some of them are a full 2-day program, so you're not going to have an option to pick that and another hot class, if that makes sense. So just note to self, if you're looking at that ahead of time with the class stuff and classes, some are 2-day programs. And then lastly with that, super excited. We just announced it to be bringing in Kathy Edwards and Tracy McCarr and their group from Firewives. And we are going to be simultaneously offering a lecture series for spouses that they're going to be running completely independent, a part of us, but completely independent of the main lecture series and venue, so that we can truly bring families together and focus on the relationships and spouses. And so that is going to be a 3-day lecture series ticket as well, set up as a 3-day ticket for that. And it's going to be absolutely incredible. It's all 3 days, full days planned for the spouses. And then the goal is, we'll be doing socials every night, and we'll all be finishing up together and get together for the socials. So, yeah, super excited. Check that out on the website. I'll kind of go through that a little bit here in a second, but that's kind of how it'll look, is individually like that. The pricing, because I have been getting a lot of questions with kind of the pricing and what exactly does that mean, and it kind of fits into the vision that I shared with you last time we were on. Is the goal is to offer this to everybody and make it accessible to anybody that wants to be there. And we're trying to do it by easing the financial burden if we can. There's absolutely still going to be a cost involved and the time involved, away from work and all of that. But if we can ease the burden, we would love to do it. And so our cause is us, and building back into us and allowing those that can't afford it or can't afford all of it to be able to register and not miss out. That way, the combination of being able to grab people that couldn't normally make it financially, and or because we're increasing our numbers in the venue as well and what we can do. Hopefully these two things are going to allow us to meet our mission, to truly push our mission first mindset through faith, family, and firemanship to a larger number than we've ever been able to do before, to get it out there and spread the poison. So what that's going to look like is we have listed recommended pricing. Now, hopefully everybody at this point realizes training isn't cheap, and training it costs a lot of money to put on an event like this and bring it in. We are putting up what we believe is a very respectable registration recommended pricing. Very similar, actually. It's not far off. We haven't ran the conference in 3 years, and the pricing is still relatively the same to what we were charging 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago. And we all know what's gone up with inflation and all of that stuff.
Just a little bit, just a skosh.
Just a little bit, but we're trying to be, this isn't trying to bang you over the head and make as much money as we can. We're trying to cover everything, build into what we're doing, build into our vision, and do this. And it does take money to do it. So
Oh no, dude! I want this model to succeed so bad. I want this thing to make. I want this thing to make. I don't even know a good solid. I want it to make so much money that it can just invest back into the fire service.
yeah,
In
man, and that's the goal. So then, just to give you kind of the numbers where we're at, the recommended pricing for the 3-day lecture ticket is $375. That equates to roughly $125 a day for a full lecture. Coffee, water involved throughout the day, and lunches provided each day. Let's see. There will be other drinks and things available on site, but that'll be on the students themselves. The Behind the Flames lecture series for spouses, which will be a 3-day ticket as well, with lunches involved and all of that. We're looking at a recommended price for the 3-day ticket at $200 for that. And then that also translates over to our hot class and workshop days, are basically $200 a day for hot class and training, which is right up there, very reasonable, I think, with looking around the country of what's going on and the cost of hot class training. So that's where it's at now. What we've done and what we're doing is that's the recommended pricing. And again, this is going to be this is on us, for us, into if you can pay that, pay it. If you can't, don't. There's going to be a minimum $1 charge to your card when you register. So you do have to register with a card, have that ready and available. Or if you're scrambling to find it at 0900, you're going to be late to the party possibly. So you will have to register with a card. And then there's going to be a value in there of whatever you can pay. No questions asked. If you can pay $100, pay $100. If you can pay $500, you pay $200. If it's just the $1 right now, then that's what you can. If you could pay more and want to support other brothers and sisters being able to attend this, then pay it forward, and pay more. We're also asking others to share this link, even if you're not coming or any organizations or group or family or department. I've actually got a department that reached out and said their training division is going to send their members, but they also want to take some money from their training division to support a couple other firefighters going.
Right on, man.
Yeah. So this link is going to be open. And another question I'm getting is, well, what if I don't have that money right now up front, but I can pay this? Along the way, am I able to pay more? And so, yes, the link that we're going to have up there to share, this is like a crowdsourcing thing. This isn't going to be a one and done thing, November 27th morning. This link will be live, open, and available through the website for the duration up until the conference to be able to pay into it. And so we realize that it's probably going to take some time to be able to raise that money and do it through a lot of different sources, which you'll talk about. But just for an example, if you can get on it, and Monday morning, you can register with $100, cool. And in another month, $100, and in another month, $100, and in another month, $100 or 500 or whatever, you can go back in there and keep, donating. That's going to go right back to that cause and that registrations, for that. So, but there is a minimum $1 charge, which when you register, know what's coming at you. And basically we are going to be pretty firm with our cancellations and what's going on. And so that's just because there's so much money going into this, to providing this, and the planning process that has to take place, and the logistics and the building and all of that stuff. We have to be fairly responsible with that. And it also is so we don't have a whole bunch of people registering. And if we do reach a point where we're at max capacity, it's not that people that want to go to not get in. So what that's going to look like is we're going to hold $1 to register. But if the cancellation policy, it's not official, it will be up on the website before you register, so you'll be able to read it. But what we're looking at and thinking of doing right now is a 30-day cancellation policy for the hot classes, that basically there'll be zero cancellation refunded to you. If we can't fill off a wait list, and there will be wait lists created for each class and workshop, and the lecture series. If we can't fill off the wait list, and or you can't slide in another body or something like that, within 30 days of the conference, you're not going to get refunded, and you're actually going to get charged the full amount, the recommended listed price for that class, if that makes sense. Now, of course, we all know things come up, and we will absolutely deal with things on an individual basis. But our policy is going to be,
No, 'cause you don't want people just locking up positions and then canceling yeah.
correct.
No,
So
absolutely.
that's
I got
what's
tons of questions, so keep going. Lots of questions
Yeah.
coming in. I got like a stack. They're stacking up.
Perfect. Well,
And
we'll
everybody, I
stay
wanna
as
tell
long as we can to get them all answered, and as long as you have. But yeah, so
No,
there
I'll
will
tell the
be.
audience, keep your questions coming. I am gonna ask them all to Cody. I'm copying them all, so just keep them coming. I promise you I'm not missing any of them.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Cody.
cool. And then for the lecture series, it's going to be within 2 weeks, cancellation. So just be aware of that when you're registering. But we will allow the flexibility to be able to, if you can't make it, put another body in there. And yes, there will be wait lists created, for every class and a lecture series if we fill that out. And we will do our best to try to work down, that list. So, but that's what registration is going to look like. That's kind of what the pricing is going to look like. It is recommended, and pay what you can and when you can. But be ready with a card to have on file when you register.
Right on.
Yeah, man. Let's see. So I guess do we want to start hitting a couple questions, or do you want me to keep moving through some stuff?
Do you want to? Well, some of the questions will be answered when you say, like, people are asking, "What can you do a brief rundown of the classes?" Which
Yeah.
I'm not sure you can do a brief rundown of how many classes there are, but that is, if you hit that, that'll hit some of the questions.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so moving through. So just sticking with the registration stuff. Hopefully that's clear. What that looks like, 0900, and be ready to go. Let's see. The link will remain open. Part of that, then I've been asking as far as donors and sponsors as well. We've been really focused on trying to get classes identified, hot classes, workshops, and get this registration going. There's going to be a large push when this is done to seek sponsorships from all kinds of levels and people out there and donors, in a variety of capacities.
Okay.
And so I would say, yes, we're looking for that. I mean, everything. When you think about putting on a conference, this is going to be in July, and you talk about the water that it's going to take to be able to, be able to use for that many firefighters
Just
and
hydrate.
training.
Yeah, just hydrate.
Just keep hydrated up, man. If we've got to go buy all that water, that's a large expenditure. So we'll be looking for sponsors and donors and vendors that could help out with that, and all of our logistics and equipment, and all that stuff. So I would say keep an eye out. We're going to be putting out kind of announcements and on call, looking for sponsors and donors. We are going to look to try to create on one of the social evenings an opportunity as well for people to come, and Fools chapters and different groups to come, and
Awesome.
different firefighter owned swag and leather goods and stuff like that, to come and participate in the event as well. And that'll be hopefully a part of some of the socials that we're doing, which I could talk a little bit more about down the road here. So yeah, but there'll be multiple online things. Also start paying attention. Part of the fundraising that we're going to do is we'll put out an all call. Is we, like years past with Portland, a big part of what we did was fundraising through raffles during the course of the conference. So there'll be every lecture day, we'll be doing raffles, at every break, with raffle items. So we will be putting out an all call here in the near future, looking for raffle items. And then we will be running a live auction as well, like we did in Portland, one of the nights of the socials, and auctioning off some larger items like
Nice.
forced entry doors, stuff like that. So we're working out that stuff. So keep that in mind too, if you're looking to help support with raffle items and auction items. But then we're also gonna, throughout between now and July, run a handful of online raffles as well, to try to help bring in some money as well, some door props and prizes, things like that. And so pay attention to that if people are interested and can help out with that. Kyle Romagus is going to be helping us out with that, the Smoothbore Cartel side of things, and from just through online raffles. So that's we're anticipating, holding several of those over the next several months.
Love it. Love it.
The other question, registration stuff I've got is, and we dealt with it in Portland, is no, there will be no, we're not taking purchase orders and registering groups at a time. Or if your department is trying to register 10 at a time, I'm just going to put out a word of caution. And if you went and attended Portland, it's no different. I would tell you, if you want to be at this conference and make sure that you're there, own that yourself and make sure that you get yourself registered. We are not taking POs. And if you leave it up to your department or one member to take the time to register 5 or 10 at a time, by the time they are done finishing registering 5 people or 10 people, that class that you wanted might already be full, or that lecture ticket might close. So there is no guarantee that if you leave it up to them, and that it'll be done. So we are not looking to, it just ends up being way more of a pain in the ass for us behind the scenes to deal with that. We did the first couple years in Portland, and then we shifted gears like this, and it's way more fluid. So we put that ownership on you. Get yourself registered if you want to be there, and then hopefully, if your organization is supporting you and is reimbursing you for parts of it, you could go back and deal with them on your own and seek reimbursement that way.
Boom.
So hopefully that clarifies that. Also, registration wise, down the road, yes, we will offer being able to switch classes if there's openings, cancellations, things down the road. So that'll be set up through just emailing us. And if there is an opening, we can definitely work on trying to get you switched into different classes down the road. So I think that covers kind of all the registration stuff and what we're looking to do.
Love it.
I think. And if any question comes up with that, we'll re-hit.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
But yeah. So shoot, let's see. Hot classes, I guess, right?
Let's do it. Everybody loves hot. Let's start with hot.
Dude, it's just this is ridiculous, man. Like,
it's insane. And they keep posting. I'm just like, how they go ahead.
Yeah. And we got more to, a handful more, which I'll bring up, even though they're not officially out yet. So there literally is something for everybody. And that was the goal here, was to really try to get a variety of different things. There's so much to do here, and from some of the best, man. It's going to be unreal. So we got, I'm going off the website now, looking at the list. Hopefully I don't miss any here. We
firemanshipconference.com, and you can look at the list. It's impressive. You can look at the lectures. I got behind the flames up there, the workshops. So anyway, go ahead, Cody. I want to interrupt you.
Yeah. So Can Confidence with Eric Wheaton, that's going to be a live fire class, and hopefully I could remember which ones are going to be live fire or not, but that will be a live fire class. That's a sweet class.
Yes,
that they put on. We've had them before out to Portland and around the country. They're all over doing great stuff. Brothers in Battle, we are doing 3 of our own classes. We're doing our VES Beyond the Door class. We're doing our engine class that's been getting reworked. We're reworking our Beyond the Pre-Connect class. that we offered in Portland for a couple of years. And we're tweaking that a little bit, and we'll be offering that one-day class. And then our Irons Ready class we will be offering. And that'll be a mix of our BIB cadre and some other outside, friends helping us put it on as well.
Love it.
So those three, Dark Side of Ladders, Magic City Truck guys, OJ and all those guys, they've been out to Portland before with the class. It's a blast. It's a pretty sweet class. If you guys haven't seen it yet, they do some, I'm not going to lie, some pretty crazy shit with ladders and stuff. It's legit. It'll be fun. The Grab Lab is just going to be.
Look at the instructors on the Grab Lab. Holy shit.
Oh, yeah, dude. And these guys, it's been fun. So we've actually done a class. We did a great weekend a couple of years ago. Jeff brought us out actually to Aurora to do a search academy, and we did our VES class, and they did their Grab Lab, and we kind of ran them simultaneously, and then the students swapped each day.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And so they did the VES and the Grab. Yeah, but yeah, Nick, Lynn, Grant, Dustin, Martinez, Larry, Justin, Sean Duffy, Ben Schultz, John Lockwood, just all home run.
Just pure studs. No big deal.
Yeah. So if you're into awesome search stuff, so that'll be good. Vent classes. So we got an awesome vent class, Irons and Ladders again. Those guys, Ryan Royal, Brian Lynch, Ian Brusnick, all those guys. I've mentioned them before to you. I think when we maybe did the original scrap that I jumped in with, they've been a huge influence on myself individually and Brothers in Battle. They were one of the few groups, and Ryan and Brian, those guys that took the time to really pour into me and share with me and be open and encourage and support what I was looking to do with Brothers in Battle. They've been out to Firemanship Conference, I think pretty much every year. They're incredible. If you haven't seen what they're doing, again, go to their YouTube channel alone is just a gold mine of information. So they're doing a vent class, a vertical vent class. One of the other vertical vent classes that we don't have listed yet and haven't pushed out, which will be coming out this week, is another vent class, topside vent class, and that's going to be done by the Milwaukee guys with featuring like kind of steep roof stuff and focusing on that steep roof. But Jeff Rothmeyer and some of those guys, some of the best in the business when it comes to steep roof stuff. I got my wife is giving me. Okay. Got a little side note there.
Right on.
Oh, and from gotcha.
Okay.
The boss. So two different type vertical ventilation classes that are just going to be unreal. Let's see. Firefighter rescue, making the rip fast. That's from Eric Allen and Fast Rescue guys. I don't know if people have been paying attention to what they're doing with the fast board, but the fast board, I'm not into gimmicks and tricks too much. I think there's things that we put out there that do 10 different things half-ass. And there's innovation and there's great tools of our trade. And I think the fast board for sure has a place. And it's been really cool to watch them over the years. They've been out to Portland every year and supported Firemanship Conference pretty much every year that we've been going. So we're excited to have them back again. They're doing their full day class. That's not just rip board stuff, but we'll be involved with that. And I'll also be doing a presentation on the big stage as well. Excited to get JJ back, James Johnson, doing his apprenticeship class, Barry Frankie, and Bud Hankels. Haven't had Bud out there as part of it yet. Excited to have him out there. But Barry and James have done a class for us in the past that was incredibly well received. Taking stuff from the classroom to construction out there, and you're actually going to be building stuff outside. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, but don't hold me to it, and I don't know if JJ's on here listening or whatnot, but I think they're going to be building a roof, simulated roof or roof prop. with stuff, but he's incredible. He's also going to be on the big stage, doing a presentation. Mention our Irons Ready class. Our other RIT class, a lot of the classes we're kind of offering two of the same, so you got a variety or choice to do. The other RIT type class we're doing is Mayday, 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 Life or Death. This is going to be unreal. This one will be with live fire. And I mean, Chief Hoff, Bob Hoff, Rich Stack, Gary Coney, Tim Walsh, Dan Bracken, and more. These guys, I mean, just ridiculous, the lineup, again, putting this class on. So definitely keep your eyes on that if you're interested in doing that. Machinery rescue. So excited to get Brass down here. I think I talked about Brass also when I did that original scrap with you. Andrew Broussard has been one of those guys for me, career-wise, individually, and brothers in battle that, again, I've just looked up to. Love the way he carries himself, approaches our job, his family, his mindset with all that. And he was one of those few guys back early in the day when I was looking to start Brothers in Battle that was willing to take the time with me as well and pour into me. And yeah, so I'm forever indebted and just grateful for Brass's support as well. So getting him down from across the border, it's going to be a blast. Great class. He's been out in Portland before doing that class. Very well received. Incredible class. And he'll be on the big stage as well, doing a presentation. So we're excited about that. Let's see, moving down, heavy impacts. This class is ridiculous. Jeff, Hocula, Andrew Hale, and the guys from Blue Collar Training, same thing. They've been out at Portland, I think, every year. They've been a tremendous support of firemanship over the years, and they put out one of the best big rig classes that's out there. So we're excited. Extrication-wise, they're covering the heavy impact side of things, and that is going to be one of the 2-day programs there, but definitely worth your while. And we're appreciative of Blue Collar support again.
Love it. And then tactical resiliency, man.
Dude, from Rick, of course. I mean, yeah, this is unreal.
A 24-hour class, correct?
I just love Rick. Yeah, he's going to be on the big stage as well. But yeah, their group, and he's also got a list of cadre and instructors that's just off the charts, going to be helping with them. But yeah, they're doing it. It's a 24-hour gig. So this is going to eat up into both your hot days if you select this class the way it rolls. I'm pretty sure. So totally worth it though. We did it out at Portland. I think it was one of the first times they were doing it. They were just starting to develop the program. And I mean, people are still talking about it to this day. The impact that it made, not just in training wise, but mindset wise, resiliency, emotionally, mentally, the relationships, when you're going through that and grinding it out for 24 hours straight, and exhausted and relying on each other, it's makes a lasting impact. And, where they have that program now is just awesome to kind of see it. And we're excited to have that back at Firemanship.
Love it.
Yeah. Taking control our spouse track from Twisted Fire Industries. This is the other side of that coin for the spouses. We're serious, when we talk about approaching faith, family, and firemanship, and our relationships and our spouses being involved and our families, and that focus is a big part of it. So again, we're kind of approaching two-pronged approach. We're going to have the 3-day lecture series, Behind the Flames, available for those spouses that just want to, be a part of that 3-day lecture series, get built into and build relationships with other spouses, come together with us afterwards in the socials. And then also, if they want to make it a full week as well, or just also they don't have to do the lecture track, the 3 days, they could come and just do these 2 days over the 2 hot days. we'll have that spouse track, where the goal is to expose spouses to what we do. And they start off, they're still refining it a little bit, but they just did it again at Carolina Fire Days. It's so amazing to listen to Andrea talk about the impacts and the conversations and the relationships made with spouses there, and the others. It's just awesome. And then to see it over the last couple of years, at the High Plains Conference and Carolina Days a couple of years ago, what they're doing has been so desperately needed. And there's gonna be a little bit of time on day one. That's gonna be a 2-day track for the spouses, and day one they'll have a little bit of a time where it's some presentation stuff, and then they're actually going to be putting on turnout gear, and they're going to be out forcing doors and flowing water and doing things, and doing it at their pace, and so they could kind of experience what we do a little bit, and they're having fun and breaking down the stigmas and relationships, and kind of creating an environment that encourages the spouses to get out of their shells a little bit,
Right on.
and interact together. And and then I'm not sure, I don't want to speak too much of what Heather and they're planning on doing, exactly what it's going to look like. But day 2 has traditionally been kind of where they visit some of the hot sites, and they go participate in that as well. So if their spouses are doing a hot class, they're getting to go up, and we're trying to break that stigma of training. We want family around and kids around, and take a second to go take a picture with your wife or your kid, and
Right.
have them jump in and do a rep with you. Or if you are doing something with smoke in there, even if it's fake smoke or the live fire, put the mask on and just go in there and sit and listen, or watch your spouse force a door or search, or do something like that. And that's kind of what it's been in the past. And I don't want to speak for them exactly what day 2 is going to look like, but I know Heather Yaller's leading the charge on that. Valerie, Lauren, Andrea helps out with it, and I'm sure they're going to be bringing in others.
And Valerie said in the chat, Valerie said, "We're going to crush it, Cody. That's what we're going to do."
Okay. Yeah, I know they will. And it's like, I'm dead serious. Like, when Andrea comes home and she just talks about the conversations, and the environment, and then you see pictures of them working and laughing and smiling and hugging each other, and all of that, and you see it with their spouses doing work, man. I'll tell you what, there's nothing better than seeing that. Like, the days of us being closed off from our families and the spouses, and
Yes.
them not a part of the firehouse, and them not a part of what we're doing, and them understanding why we're doing what we're doing, and why it's important to train like this and take the time to do these things, man. To see a relationship come together and supported and in unity over that stuff, like, look out, man. This is the way for sure of the fire service.
Love it.
Um,
Love it.
yeah. So that's going to be awesome. Yeah. So for the spouses, they literally can do something all week as well. Or again, they can just do that 2-day hot experience, spouse experience, or just the 3-day lecture series behind the flames. So
Go ahead. Yeah, unfair fight.
unfair fight and systems of the stream. So yeah, dude, this is going to be awesome. This is going to be a 4-hour, this kind of doubling your money, if you will. You're going to get to do a class with Jonah and Jonathan, going over 2.5 work and line work. And then you're going to be with Jerry and Stretch doing work as well, their system of stream stuff. And we're super excited to have, they've been out, supported us at Firemanship Conference before in Portland, and here now, and just truly some of the best in the business all the way around. So it's going to be 2 4-hour classes, separate of each other, but then swapping. So you sign up for that track, you will do each 4-hour session.
Gotcha.
In a day. Let's see. Yeah, again, there's our engine class. mid-rise man. This thing can be
Look at the
ridiculous.
names on that. Yeah. The
Yeah.
ones we have the instructors listed is just like every time it's like a holy smokes.
And
Look at
there's even more, like it ends up always being like a cast of characters that get drug in. Like that's just who we got listed now, that
right.
come and help out with classes. And, again, I mean, it's the best of the best in the business out there doing work and talking mid-rise work. And it's definitely, we're seeing this across the American Fire Service, addressing these types of buildings and this size buildings and vertical stretches, is, it might not have been a problem in your community, a couple of years ago, but we're seeing a lot of these multifamily dwellings and center hall garden style building, these
Yeah.
mid-rise type things, mid-rise popping up all over the country. So it's going to be an awesome class for sure to
No doubt. It's just yeah, go ahead.
yeah. I mean, and just literally the best of the best,
No, it's
so
almost overwhelming, the sheer amount. Like choosing, if you're
yeah.
trying to choose, is going to be insane.
Well, what I love about what we do too, and this isn't to knock necessarily some of the other stuff that's out there, but like I said, our numbers are going to be set at what they are. The goal isn't to try to maximize and put in 100 bodies,
Right.
herd cattle. Like you're going to be up close and personal, accessible, able to talk, answer questions. Instructors are going to be able to work with you, and we're going to maximize reps, and that's the environment that Firemanship Conference has been trying to foster from the get-go, and it's going to stay the same. So I would say, as a student standpoint, you have that to look forward to, and that's kind of our guarantee. It's not going to be just you coming in herding cattle and get to see something or touch. You're gonna you're gonna have a great experience. I promise you. Elevator emergency management ops from Dragon Rescue. This is another 2-day program, so be aware. But Mike Dragonetti, man, dude, what a stud when it comes to elevators. I mean, he's so good at what he does. Explains it so well. Up on new modern techniques and elevators and different types. He's supported us with Firemanship Conference in Portland in years past. We've had him out multiple times. And just puts together incredible program. So if you are looking to do some elevator work, it's going to be limited amount of spots, but I mean, really, honestly, one of the best elevator programs probably, and guys to cover it in the country. So can't speak highly enough about that class. Let's see. Yeah, tactical extrication, man. My man Isaac. Shoot, again, talk about some of the best in the business, and guys that actually are cut cars, and a shit ton of them, over their careers. Isaac is one of those dudes. Absolutely home run, and his program is second to none. So in the extrication side of things, we're excited. We get to offer the big rig stuff with Jeff and blue collar guys, and then extrication wise with Isaac doing the stuff with tactical advantage training. And his guys again are just dialed in and as good as it gets. So excited to have him. Speaker wise, also excited to have Isaac's going to be doing one of the grabs on the big stage, covering one of the grabs sessions we're doing in the lecture series, and talking about his grab, which was just, if you haven't listened to it, just absolutely ridiculous. So we're excited to have him. Let's see, new paradigm rescue from peak rescue and elevated safety. And again, seriously, like, talk about the best in the business. And I personally have not done too much with the elevated safety guys yet. I have, and I've been around peak rescue and Micah for years now, and he is as solid as he comes. He's partnering up with elevated safety now, and together, it just sounds like they're doing incredible things. But I know I could speak of Micah, and peak, and literally the best in the business. So they're going to be, doing rope work, and the locations. I mean, they're not. This isn't going to be at a fire department training, tower. They're at an incredible cell tower, and at one of the state parks. Going to be doing the class, and yes, if you're into rope work and rescue work, like Micah is literally one of the best in the business, and
Wow.
we're super excited to have him around. Let's see. So then with that, I think I might have brought it the classes that aren't out yet.
Yeah, this is the behind the scenes. So here's the
Yeah, there's a couple that are still coming up. So I did talk about that other topside vent class from the Milwaukee guys and Jeff Rothmeyer. We are bringing in a lithium battery fires class. Excited about that, and everybody now is dealing with that.
Yes.
All over the place. And the guys from Next Level Extrication are putting that class on for us. It's just not announced yet, but that'll be another class available. So lithium battery fires. Then we're going to do a 4-hour workshop hot class type combination thing. That's going to be Dennis Laguerre and Ray McCormick. We're doing that 4-hour fire stream class application, placement, and effectiveness. And, again, kind of best in the business doing that. So they're doing a 4-hour track, and that's going to be paired with another 4-hour track. That's a live fire class. That's a fire behavior class by Nick Dingus, and super excited to have that class. So that's just not officially announced yet, but that'll be a kind of 4-hour and 4-hour session that will swap with each other and be incredible. So, whew.
Dude, I cannot like this.
Yeah, so that's our hot classes, man. That's what we're looking like. Literally, like I said, something for everyone.
No doubt. I still have questions. You gonna touch on workshops? You gonna? Well,
yep.
One of the big questions is basically what's the difference between the workshop and the lectures?
Yeah. So the workshop is basically like a lecture setting. It's not out hands-on too much, if you will. Although some of them they're just a shorter session that is not separate from, how do I say this? Separate from the lecture series, but some presentations and things needed to be carried over with given the time. We're limiting the time during the lecture presentations to really dive into some of the stuff that's needed. And we wanted to have an option, which we always have, for those members that are maybe not looking to do a complete hands-on both days. So maybe one of the days you want to go do a workshop, and that might be a full day presentation. So just for example, with Josh Chase, he's going to be doing his jump seat leadership track. So if you want to sit in there, that's going to be a full day, kind of like lecture program all day, working with Josh, covering leadership stuff. So you have the ability to do that one day and then do a hot class the next day if you want something else. So those will be, at different locations. We'll have them listed where they're at, but like conference room type stuff, or at a fire department that's got classroom style set up, and the same thing, lunches will be provided for them. But we're talking like full day presentation type stuff.
No, and I can speak briefly about mine because I've been so pumped up working on mine.
And I was just going to say, so now this segues perfect into, hey, turns out we got somebody here doing one. So do you want to talk about yours?
Man, it is I'm so excited about it, man. I'm really like, this actually unlocked it when we talked on the phone and you told me what you wanted. I started working on it. And so I've got 6 months to get it 100% ready. But when you show up, you will be assigned to a team inside of there. And it's called the Culture Forge, first of all. And it is a deep dive into, and I almost hesitate to even label it this way, but it's mission, vision, values, standards, expectations, confrontations, and what things, esprit de corps, traditions, artifacts, and all of those things that go into building a culture. But the workshop is going to be, I don't want to say a competition, but it's going to be fun because you're going to be on a team and in a competition with the other teams throughout the day as we do a one-day building of a culture in this workshop and understand all the pieces that go into it. And when you leave, my vision, when you leave, you're going to say, holy smokes, this is one day. Imagine what happens if you apply this you know, to your department. And so that's what my workshop is going to be like. And I'm so excited about it because there's going to be stuffed animals. There's going to be spaghetti. I can't even explain to you everything that's going to happen. That's just, it's going to be, it's going to be a good time. So anyway.
Yeah. They're going to get a full day with you.
Yes.
Dude. Yeah. I mean, and ridiculous. Like, I mean, to be able to get that, to spend that time with you, you know, yeah, it's awesome. And I'm excited to see what you come up with. Like I told you when I asked you to do it, is like, yeah, this doesn't have to be something that you've done before. Where I'm excited to see kind of where you see the fire service needing to go, what you want to do to contribute, you know, and
It's so
something
cool because it's got
fresh, and like, what do you have idea? And like, I'm open to it, man.
It
And just
grew legs. It's taken off on its own. It grew legs. I mean, it really has. It's like everything happens for a reason. This is happening for a reason. So, yeah,
yeah.
it's awesome.
So, yeah, you know, and then so the other one that being offered a full day like that is the suburban leadership and tactics. And again, that's Kurt Isaacson and Shannon Stone.
Yeah.
So that'd be, you know, one full day with them. Same thing, you know, being able to work with them in a workshop style setting, presentation type thing. And, you know, again, second to none. Kurt and Shannon have been tremendous supporters of Firemanship Conference over the years. They've been out to Portland, and I just can't thank them enough. I love them. They've been with us pretty much from the get-go, and I'm excited that they're there. And yeah, just another awesome track to offer.
Now, let me ask you this: they're one day track. Like mine's one day, but I'm doing it twice, right?
Yep, one day. Yep. So each day. So you could do the Culture Forge, and they could do, you know, Kurt and Shannon's class one day, or with Josh Chase that day. And then the other one is we are mixing a little bit of kind of hands-on, but it's not like the full day hands-on hot class, is the bars and hammers and thermal imaging with Sam Hiddle, who is just, again, ridiculous. You know, he's come out before. He spoke at Firemanship Conference. He's up with hot classes. And he's done a thermal imaging workshop before, and so you'll be doing thermal imaging work and deep diving into that stuff. And he's just ridiculous of how that relates over to the fireground side of things. And then bars and hammers, like again, in his force stuff and the way his brain works, and you know, leverage and mechanics and physics behind it and the force behind all of it. Is going to be kind of 4 hours. It's going to be kind of within his thing, is like a 4 hour and 4 hours. So you're going to be doing 4 hours of thermal imaging stuff and work, and then 4 hours of deep diving into, you know, generating force and what that looks like. And actually you will be forcing and banging on some doors and doing some different techniques with him and hitting techniques. And, you know, so
brother, this is going to be amazing.
So again, it's a full day with Sam doing that. But yeah, so you have the ability to pick any one of these workshops and do both of them if you want, or a workshop and or a hot class the next day, you know.
So if I can just clarify to get it right, there's 3 days of lectures, correct?
3 days of lectures.
And then 2 days of hot, which is the workshops are also on the hot days.
Also on the hot days, correct.
Okay, no, I'm making sure so everybody's clear. And then the lectures are going to be off the chain too, just nonstop, one after the other. All these instructors and everybody you've invited.
Yeah. So getting into that, a little bit of what we have is, so it's definitely different than what we've done in the past. And a lot of the presentations are going to be shorter presentations, kind of like a TED Talk type, a little shorter. Give me your nuggets, give me the meat and potatoes. And we'll see how it goes. So just going through that, we don't have it listed up on the site yet, and we're still playing with that. And it'll probably, you know, we're a ways out from July, so there might be some people added and some tweaks taken away. But I just want to let's see, you know, some of the people that will be doing stuff on stage, and kind of what we're doing is each lecture day, there will 100% be 2 grabs talked about each day, which I absolutely love. I mean, that's what we're all about. So there'll be those involved with the actual grabs, and being talked to, similar to the Grabs podcast, with either Nick, Grant, or Justin helping facilitate that. And then going over, that grab, but not just telling the story per se. What I'm really asking for these guys to present is really give us the story, but give us some meat and potatoes to take away with and eat on, and chew on. What worked, what didn't work, and moving on forward, what changes have you made personally, or as a crew or as a department, so that we can truly learn from these and not just be like, oh, that's a great grab, but what are some actual tangible, takeaways from it. So with that, we're going to have 2 different grabs talked about each day. And we've got multiple grabs coming from the Aurora area. So tapping into the local guys that are doing it. I already mentioned Isaac Frazier is going to be talking about his grab. I got guys, John Johnson and his crew and guys down in Texas that made an incredible couple grabs. Let's see, you've got an incredible grab coming out of Oklahoma City being talked about. Incredible grab coming out of Iowa with guys that made grabs, VES grabs. That one's pretty cool. That was after they took our class a couple years ago as well. But right after our VES class, they made their first VES grab.
So at least 2 grabs a day being discussed.
At least 2 grabs a day. Yeah.
Nice.
So we'll be doing that. Then let's see. We're also going to be doing the shorter 30-minute presentations like I talked about. And just, so we got Kyle Romagus, Andrew Murtaugh, Gary Lane, James Johnson, Rick George, Ben Schultz, Dennis Riley, Dina Ali, Rich Rennie, Josh Chase, Corley, you're doing Brian Lynch and Ian Brusnick from Irons and Ladders, Kurt Isaacson, Andrew Broussard, Eric Wheaton, Ray McCormick, Dennis Laguerre, Sam Hiddle, Brian Abbott, Eric Allen, seriously, and we're still dialing it in. There's a handful more. It's just ridiculous. I'm going to be looking to do an opening keynote presentation. We're still looking to dial in one and our other keynote. So each day we'll have a keynote presentation. Jeff Rothmeyer is going to be doing one of our keynotes. Still waiting to name the other one. We're going to have incredible closing presentations for you guys. Another exciting thing that we're doing is every day, so there'll be one each day, is we got John Spera coming on from Fit to Fight Fire, and they're going to be just incredible. If you haven't been paying attention to John's podcasts lately with Fit to Fight Fire and his forum, and truly focus on just adversity and faith and overcoming obstacles in life and on the job and all the stuff that we're all facing. Just some incredible stories. And so each day, John is going to be doing one different thing, featuring somebody that, and you could go back and listen to Fit to Fight Fire podcasts right now, but we're going to kind of be redoing a live podcast, if you will, question and answer with John up there, and each day with somebody else talking about stuff they overcame. And so we've got doing that Josh Chase, who will be also doing his jump seat leadership. He just released his new book, Engaging the Enemy, but he's got just an incredible story. I highly recommend you go back and listen to it, and just to even get a glimpse of Josh and what he's overcome and what he's doing now is awesome to see. We're excited to have him there. Brian Abbott, who I love dearly, one of our brothers in battle guys. Same thing. He's been on that podcast before, talking about what he's overcome and where he's at, what he's doing now. And it's just awesome to see what Brian is doing now and his family. But Brian will be doing one day. And then Robert Wynn, so excited to have Robert sharing it. His story will actually just, I've never heard anything like it in the fire service, firefighter wise. I'm just going to make you go listen. I'm not even going to give you a teaser to him, but Robert's story is absolutely on it. He's a Cal Fire firefighter. I met him months ago when we were at the Bay Area Fire Conference, and he was just this young cat that was just super excited to just be there and do anything, and just loved the job, and was giving us stickers, and he was talking about he's starting up this group, change your culture, change your department, and just super motivated and passionate. And it's funny, I had reached out to John, or John and I were just chatting about things, and he's like, "Hey man, do you know who Robert Wynn is?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I met him, for the first time down the Bay Area conference. Super motivated guy." I said, "But I don't know that much about him." And he's like, "Oh man, I just recorded a podcast with him, and you need to go listen." And I was like, "Okay." So went and listened, and again, his story, just like Brian Abbott's and Josh Chase's, are absolutely going to save lives, and make an impact. And Robert's
And I'll
story is just incredible.
I'll
So,
piggyback on you because Josh Chase, this week, not this week, but the week after, Josh Chase is coming on the scrap to talk, and then Robert
ooh,
Wynn is coming on in February.
no
So
way.
yeah, it's going to be, yeah,
Are
you
you
got to,
serious?
yeah.
Oh man, that seriously, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, and seriously, guys, like, go listen to those podcasts. Just wow, incredible what they've done and overcome. So again, that's part of what we're trying to do with all of this. Like I said in the beginning, we're truly going to be approaching, like, nothing is off limits for us, and we are 100%. You will hear us openly and speaking about faith and what our faith is and what that looks like for us, and overcoming it and sharing obstacles, talking about family, and a focus on bringing in our families and spouses together, and doing this together. And I truly believe that when we took the oath, it wasn't just us taking the oath; it was our family, and our spouses taking that oath alongside with us. So, that's built into the conference. And then, yes, of course, the firemanship side of things, with the nuggets, fire nuggets, and them, and the grabs talk and stuff like that. So there is going to be, I guess, on that side of things too, just a little bit of everything, but truly going to embody the faith, family, and firemanship on that side. And just, yeah.
No, and just because I get to be on stage and do 30 minutes there, I'm writing a brand new ditty for that
Mm,
for fire. I'll be unveiling a brand new ditty, so it'll be awesome. I hope.
okay.
I
I
hope,
love it.
knock on wood, it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
So,
Sweet. I
hey, you
love
ready
it.
for questions?
Yeah, I'm ready for questions, man. So yeah, I think
Okay,
we
first
covered it
announcement.
all.
Dan Bender. Dan Bender has an XD shutoff and a 7/8 red tip nozzle, and he wanted to donate it to Firemanship. So we're going to put together a raffle, and we're going to I'm going to make spots. People can donate,
Yep.
buy tickets for the raffle. I'll make the announcement on Firehouse Vigilance, but all the proceeds from the raffle will be going straight to Firemanship. He donated that, and so it'll be one of the early raffles. If you don't mind that we do that,
Oh, heck yeah. No, love it.
I think
Anything.
it's going to be
All of
pretty
it.
awesome.
Thank you,
So
brother. Thank you. Yes.
it's all Dan. That's all Dan. I just told him I would announce it here. We were going to do it live, but it'll get a lot more tickets sold if we don't do it live. We just announce it live and then
Yeah.
do the raffle.
Yep. Yeah. Let's
The
do
other
it.
thing,
I'd
if you
love
want to
that.
know how you can help Firemanship, share this podcast, this one specifically. Share it everywhere you can share it, because there's so much info here on how it works, what's going on, all the classes. So when this is over, share this podcast everywhere you can share. Not for the scrap, not for me, for Firemanship, so that people can get the info, so that Monday there isn't a ticket left available out of those 1,500 tickets.
That's the goal. And then last thing before we get into questions too, that I just thought of that I want to talk about, and this is still an idea and concept, but I think we're going to be able to pull it off, is we're actually trying to get approval from the city and permits to actually close off the street that morning. Like, when I talk about 1,500 brothers and sisters, like, I
Yeah.
mean, it's going to be an unreal sight to see. And my vision to see this open up is that opening ceremony in the morning is we're going to have pipes and drums there, and we got a local pipes and drums group, but I'm also going to open it up like we did to Portland. Anybody that is out there from around the country that wants to travel and bring their pipes and drums and participate in being in that, we are going to build out a pipes and drums band, and we are going to have a sea of brothers and sisters from around the country. I haven't decided yet. I am thinking about asking if you have them to wear Class A's on that opening morning, or a uniform of such, so that the visual I want to see is a sea of brothers and sisters outside being led into the building the morning of opening ceremony and marching in to the building as a visual representation to us as we film that and put it of us taking back our fire service and pushing the mission first.
That's awesome.
And so
I hope, yeah,
just,
man.
just
Yeah.
stay tuned to that, but it's gonna kind of be like that
Love
opening
your vision, brother. I love your vision.
opening rally, like us in the street together, lined up and all marching in together, shoulder to shoulder. Just that sea of blue, you know,
Yeah. Dude, I love the vision.
marching in. So yeah. That's
all right.
still
Some of these
anyways, let's get some questions answered.
Some of these we got to.
Okay.
What's the difference between workshops and hot classes? You covered that. That came from Howie Althasar. Joss Everett said, is the spouse track the same 3 days as the lecture series?
Yes. So the spouse track, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday will be the lecture series and the Behind the Flames for the spouses lecture series, 3 days running simultaneously.
Beautiful.
And then the hot classes and workshops and the spouse track experience will both be Thursday and Friday.
Is there a way to donate if a person can't go? You answered that, because there absolutely will be a way to donate.
Nope.
Not only if you can't go, but also if you can't, if you want to pay more than you originally get your ticket for.
Sure.
Westbrook Tier wants to know, what is a brief rundown, of some of the hot classes and workshops? We covered that. Not brief. We covered them in detail.
Yeah.
It was good. Matt Knowlton, are the workshop costs the same as the hot classes?
Yes, they are.
Same time frame. Tara Cornett, love this approach. Will there be vendor spots available? You answered it. There's absolutely going to be vendor spots. Yes?
Yes.
So keep your eyes peeled for how you can help in that way. Can you buy more than one ticket? Will there be a limit?
No, there is no limit. So again, you can register as many people as you want, and you could put forth the money. So if you have the physical name, like you're going to register your buddy, or
Right.
your department is registering 2 or 3 or 5 of you, you can do that and enter in their individual names and information. But there is the risk. Again, I cannot speak to, I don't know if 1,500 spots is going to sell out quick. Like it, I just know in Portland, in 5 to 10 minutes, everything was sold out the last several years. And so there were people, if you were waiting and trying to register multiple people, and it's taken that long to get all the information selected and entered, you may miss out. But yes, you can do that. But there's also that link, like I said, is going to be up and available until the time of the conference. That is it's like crowdsourcing, available in any time, and share it and fundraise with it, and money, and you could put into it. And so you could not only just register yourself or somebody else, but you can pay it forward by sponsoring. We've given the value of a lecture series ticket or a full conference pass, and you could donate that much more money into that would go to cover the cost of somebody not being able to attend. Right. So, for instance, that 3-day lecture series, $375, you could go in and, put in that value, and pay that forward, or a full conference pass, or whatever it is value. And, in 2 months' time, you could go in and rebump it up, or whatever. So
right. No, I love it.
That's how that'll look.
That's why it's so important that we share this, information, not just the podcast, but the information is so important that we share it, because there's so many people that aren't going to be able to attend that want to support this mission of us taking the fire service back, of us supporting our own. And so we've got to get the word out there. Imagine.
I mean, honestly, it is all, and that's what your platform's amazing, but this is all, word of mouth. This is how we all, hear about these things and share this stuff. And, the socials, how the socials work with not everybody catching everything,
Right.
share it. And there's a lot of brothers and sisters that aren't on social media,
Right.
so, again, share it in the firehouses and through those email chains and training associations and fools chapters and all of that. Please do
Everywhere you can.
anywhere you can,
Yes.
yeah, share away. But I would say too, then real quick, is other ways that you can participate and support, even if you're not going to be there, is again, we are going to be holding the online raffles, and hopefully in multiple different locations, Firehouse, Vigilant, and other
Yeah.
spots. Pay attention to that stuff as we announce that. But those are ways that, if you can't make it already, you're on vacation or whatever, and you want to support it, get involved and help out with the raffles as well.
I love it. Absolutely love it. And this is what I'm going to do with the XD nozzle, the Elkhart 7/8. We're going to do that. This one of the first raffles, maybe. I don't know if it's first or not, but I'm going to post it on Facebook and all on social media. But I'm going to do the drawing live on Josh Chase's scrap a week from Monday or a week from Tuesday. I'm not sure which day it is, but that'll be awesome.
Okay. Sweet. Love it.
Hotels. Do you have suggestions to stay at? Will you have suggestions? Have you selected hotel locations?
Yeah, great question that I forgot to address already. Yes, so we are working on that. You'll see. There'll be a list of hotels in the area, and they will be on the website. You will be able to see them. We have not yet. So one thing that we're not doing, at least this year, and we're gonna, again, this is our first year coming back. We're gonna see what response is with everything, but we are not going to be securing blocks of rooms, if you will. We are still trying to identify with hotels if they are willing to associate discounts available with us by something, and if they are, awesome. Otherwise, we're just financially not knowing with where we're going to be and everything we're trying to do, don't know that we can kind of take that risk, if you will, by having blocks under our names.
Right.
For the event this year, and if we're decide to bring this back and all goes well, then that's something we'll look to down the road. But I would say, so again, our hot class locations, we're at like right now, like 9 or 10 different locations. And some of them, it's turning out how it was like in Portland as well, to where, some of the hot sites are, half hour, 45 minutes away, 50 minutes away,
Right.
And from each other. They're all over. So as you're looking at hot classes, we do have those hot class locations, and the lecture location is listed with address on the website. And so pay attention to where your classes are at. There is going to be travel involved. It isn't all on one training, location, and it all isn't in downtown Aurora. So it is spread out around that whole kind of metro area, if you will. But all of those addresses, the locations will be listed. And I know when it comes to the hot class stuff, we've had students in the past that just, due to the nature of them getting out late and stuff like that, they've not wanted to travel all the way back into town. So if they are 45 minutes out, they wanted to get hotels that are close to their hot class locations. Sure. We are listing, we're going to have several different hotels within proximity of each hot class site as well, if that makes sense. So there will be stuff, if we can get hotels to agree to give us any type of a discount, we will work with that and announce that and put that up on the website. But I would say pay attention to the website. There are hotels all over, and there's a lot of hotels in the area. But we are specifically not securing blocks as of
No, absolutely. I understand that completely.
Yeah.
Winding down on the last of the questions, we got a few more here. Cody Roberts said, when registering, is there going to be a notification that the class is full so you can choose something else real quick?
Yeah, it won't let you register if it's full. And it'll show once, and if a class fills up right away, it'll show class is full.
Right on.
That is full.
Eric Cody, if I bring some Eric Wheaton, by the way, VES, then inner search. Cody, if I bring some guys from my job to attend the conference, can they get certificates? Our department requires them to get reimbursed.
Yeah, we'll come up with some sort of system to create now I would say like there's nothing being done by us through because it's being held in Illinois, like an accreditation type thing.
Right.
But we definitely, and we've done that in years past at Firemanship Conference, can definitely issue a certificate of completion, listing the name and the dates and all that stuff.
And Jeff Bryant also answered it in chat for Eric, but I wanted to ask it out loud so you could answer. But he said that will be taken care of.
Yeah.
So Joshua Everts wants to know, where will you take donations for raffle items? What's the best way if someone wants to donate something to be raffled?
Stay tuned. So stay tuned to the website and the social media pages is a big one, is our Instagram and website. And usually what we do in the past is as soon as we're ready and we have a system in place to start capturing all that, we'll just start making announcements on social media like, hey, we're looking for donated items. And
Right.
then usually we put it up with, where it's getting shipped to and all that stuff. We keep track who it's all coming from, whether it's individuals or businesses or companies, what all these items are. We have a full inventory that's made, with everything. And so as soon as we kind of have the system in place to capture all that, we'll just be making announcements, and then we'll be accepting a lot of that stuff. And we'll make announcement whether some of these items are separately going to the online raffles that we're going to do, and or going to be in place during the actual time of the conference.
Right on. And me and Dan Bender jumped the gun with our nozzle raffle that we're just eager to help out.
I love it. You're already going, just do it. Yeah.
Jason Boyle says it's not if you decide to bring it back, it's when you decide to bring it back, with 14 exclamation points. So
yeah.
that's the support.
I love it. Yeah. Yeah. I love that mindset. Very good. Yeah. Very good.
Timus. No, absolutely, brother. What else do you want to say? That's you answered all the questions.
Okay. The last little thing I would say is anticipate, and we'll make an out is there will be socials every night. Like we did in Portland, we wanted every night. So when you come into town on Sunday, there will be a social place, a meeting place, gathering place. We don't have those identified yet, which places will be which nights. We've got some great ideas, some stuff that's already secured, some actually like block party type stuff, shutting down the streets, food trucks, gazebo. We are bringing back the storyteller session that we did in Portland. And one of the social nights will 100% be a storyteller session. Bring in guys and we'll make those announcements, but that'll be a social and outside and everybody be able to hang out. We will be looking to do our live auction one of the nights as well and being outside. And there's a couple local venues that we'll be utilizing for the socials as well. But there'll be something from the time you come in on Sunday. We're talking about trying to do a pre-registration type thing. So if you come in Sunday and you're traveling in, we can get you pre-registered already, get you your stuff. Again, there's raffle tickets you're getting and all this stuff. So we can kind of be ahead of the game for Monday morning and minimize. Again, the goal is going to be, it's going to look a little different than we did in the past because I really want to do the march in under pipes and drums. And so it's like, there's not going to be the check-in at tables and inside and everybody kind of mingling around and picking and choosing where they're sitting at that time. Like Monday morning's probably going to look a little bit like us marching in and filing in and streaming into the rows of seats and everybody just, taking their seats for that time. And then obviously probably by the first break or by lunch, it can be breakout and wherever, people want to get, but we're going to try to be as organized and punctual as possible with getting the opening ceremony kicked off and moving in. So there'll be some form of a pre-registration Sunday as people travel in and a location to go. Still, you can do it Monday morning, at places, but we're going to try to minimize that. And then, each night. And then also, like we know in Portland, that was a big thing that some people aren't going to come to the lecture series and they're only coming in for the hot classes or workshops. And so we wanted something going on each night that's a gathering place for students and instructors and us every night of the week so that, if you're coming in Wednesday to just attend hot classes, it still feels like, we get that social environment and that time to to build into each other and network and stuff like that, which I think is so important. So every night there will be something. But I will say, usually the socials on the hot class nights look a little bit different. Everybody's been there a long week, tired. Our hot classes also, they're not all the 8 to 5 or 8 to 4 type classes. It's going to be all over. And so you have some students that, if class is done at 8 o'clock at night, that's when the class is done, man. We're not cutting it short. I know our BIB classes traditionally run long. Whatever that student or whatever that class has going on, that's when the class ends. So being that they all potentially might end at different times, definitely those social nights might look a little bit different and people not wanting to go out, but there will be an identified place for people to get to, if they want.
Love it, man. I'm telling you, I speak on behalf of everybody that watches this podcast, first of all, but I speak on behalf of the American Fire Service when I say thank you for the vision of this. Thank you for bringing it back. Thank you for the new direction, the faith, family, fire. Man, Cody, I can't. I know you're one of the most humble dudes I know. You don't need to hear this, but you need to hear this. Thank you for the incredible headache you're taking on. And I know you have an incredible support system and everything, but man, thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I love it. I love our fire service. I think it's so important for us to move forward with the faith, family, and fire component of it. And I think some of those pieces of the puzzle are the missing links when we start looking at where we're at, mental health wise, and what's going on with our fire service and the moral injury and the low morale that's taking place, and some of the things that are attacking our mission first mindset, not everywhere, but that is out there. And man, I'm hoping that us together are going to be able to truly make an impact. So it's going to take an army to do this. Appreciate the support. And it really is all of us, and that's, I just want everybody to know that this is, for us, by us, truly, and building back into that. And so many times in classes and at conferences and when we teach and when I do presentations, I always hear that it's never the people here that need to be here to be listening to this, and I saw that early on in Portland, and when we're doing stuff, and I'm just like, that absolutely is not true.
Right on. Right on.
It is the people that are there. They're the ones we fucking want there. We want you there. And yes, we want anybody that wants to be there. But just like this fire service, it ain't for everybody. This isn't for everybody. This is what's helping, position us into the things that we're working through right now and trying to address. Because this fire service isn't for everybody. And this conference may not be for everybody either. And I'm okay with that too. But if it is for you, then we want you there, and we want as many of you there as possible so that you can go back and make that impact in your organization,
Love it. I absolutely love it. And with that, we brought it full circle back home and put to rest Firemanship Special Part 2. Cody, thank you for your afternoon on a Saturday afternoon. Thank you for coming and sharing all this information. Everybody out there, I challenge you, share this. Share this with every firefighter you know who needs to be there, because you know who they are. They need to be there. And so share it. Get the word around. And if they can't be there, they can support it. So share the word. Cody, thank you for the Saturday afternoon. Audience, man, always thank you for the questions. I hope the tone stays silent unless it is burning.